Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we are going to create this responsive footer, and in this footer we are going to have some input boxes, some contact information, and some social icons at the bottom, and there is also one scroll to top link. Anyways, let's start with the coding part. So I'm going to use Sublime Text. You can use any other text editor that you have. And let's start by saving the file. So I'm going to give it any name with .html extension so that it becomes a HTML file. Alright. Then let me just fill up the title. And since we are using the social icons, so I will be using font awesome icons. You can open Google and search for font awesome icons space CDN. And then from here you can copy the CDN link of the font awesome icon. Alright, then paste it. Now we have the access to the font awesome icons in our web page. And also I am going to use Google Fonts, so I'm going to write one more link for the Google font. If you don't want to use any specific fonts, you don't have to do this. And then I'm going to link the external CSS file. Alright, then let's begin with the body and let's give it an ID. Alright, then get inside and let's start with the footer tag since we are just going to create the footer. And then class text-gray. We will use this class to change the properties in a way that we get the text in gray color. Then bg-black will be used to make the background color black, and then p-5 to add padding all around this footer. Then get inside and let's create a div and class container. Using the container class, we are going to add margin and padding as needed. We are going to see that later when we are defining the CSS. Anyways, then get inside again and create another div. And here we will have the class d-flex-r, and we will use this class to change the display property to flex and the flex direction to row, so that the content that we define under this or the elements that we define under this are stacked next to each other in a single row. Alright, and let's begin with the left half or the left section of the footer. So create a div and class 1_half, and we will use this class to add 50% width of the entire row, so that this div takes only 50% of the entire row available to it. Alright, then get inside and let's begin with the title. And font-access will define a very small size font. And the text hyphen white is going to change the font color to white. Now let's open the file in the browser. Alright. Let me just copy the text from here, and I'm going to create some more text using p tag. And this my-2 is going to add margin on the top and the bottom of this p tag. In the same way, I'm going to create one more p tag. Now let's begin with the address. So we are going to enclose the entire address part in one div. And let's have the class address. Then within it, we are going to create the address tag. Class d-flex-r. And as we have seen before, this class is going to change the display property to flex and the flex direction to row. Now coming inside the address part, we are going to divide it into two parts. In the first part, we are going to define the address. In the second part, we are defining the contact numbers or the email IDs. And this one underscore half class is going to change the width to 50% so that it takes only half of its parents available width. And we are going to start with the first part. So let's begin with the first part, then get inside and create a UL tag. And the UL tags need to have li tags to define the elements within it. Create a li tag. Then within this li tag, we are going to create the font awesome icons using the I tag. So create a I tag. Then FAS space FA hyphen map hyphen marker hyphen ALT. This is the name of the icon that we are using. If you want to have a list of the names of the icons, you can search it on the Google. In the font awesome icons, you will get a collection of the icons with their name so that you can choose which icons you want to use. Alright. Then get outside the I tag and create a P tag. Then leave a space and then you can write any text that you want to write in here. Then get below it and create another li tag. And within this li tag, create a p tag and then you can write more text. And in the same way, you can add more lines to the address. Now let's get into the right half. So in the same way, let's create I tag to define the font awesome icons. And here we are going to define a phone icon. And this is just the way we have to define the font awesome icons. We have to write FAS or FAB or FA depending upon the type of the icon that we have chosen, and then space and the name of the icon. Then after I tag, create a P tag, and then you can write any number. Then create one more li tag so that you can define more numbers. Then create a new li tag, and we are going to use this li tag to define email IDs. And let's add some space above the email ID, so we can use a class top space, and we are going to define these classes later in the CSS. Now the div which is having this class 1 underscore half, get outside this div. This is the main div which is containing the entire left part of the footer. So come outside of this div and create a new div which is going to be the right half, so that the two halves in complete take the entire width of the row. Alright, then create div and with class 1 underscore half, so that the two halves in complete take the entire width of the row. Then inside it we are going to create the form. So create a form tag and the class d-flex-c. This will change the display to flex and the flex direction to columns, so that the elements that we define under this will be stacked one in a row. Then ID, then get inside and create input tags, then type text, and you can give any name to this one like contact name. Then class p-1 to add 1 rem of padding on all the sides, space my-1 to add 1 rem of margin on the top and the bottom, and then the placeholder attribute. Now in the same way we can define more input boxes. Now at the end we want a text area so that we can enter large amount of text here. And if you want it to appear big, we can specify the number of rows, and then at the bottom we can define a button. All right. So this completes the left half and the right half of the footer. So get outside the div which is containing the class container and create a new div with class container space copyright space d hyphen flex hyphen r space justify hyphen content hyphen space hyphen around. So this class is going to justify the contents in a way that they have space around them. Then get inside and use p tags to define the links and the text. And by using this target attribute, if we click on the link is going to open in a new tab instead of in the same page. Since we don't want the user to scroll away from the current page, we want the links to open up in new page. Create a UL tag, and using this UL tag we are going to define the social icons. So create li tag. Within the li tag create e tag so that the icons are links as well. Then inside the e tag we can use the I tags to define the icons. Copy this entire line and paste it few more times. And then I'm going to change the names of the icons. Then come outside the div which is having the class container and create a new div, and we are going to use this div to define the scroll to top or back to top button. Create a tag And in the reference part, we are going to give the ID of the element we want to be scrolled when we click on this link, and then get inside and define the icon. So this completes the HTML part. Let's create a new file and give it any name with .css extension. And since I have given the name style.css in the reference part in the HTML, so I'm going to use the same name. Then star is going to select all the elements in the HTML. Then let me define a font size, let's say 1 RAM, and remove the margin and padding from all the elements initially. Alright, then let's refer to UL tag and font style normal and list style none. Then refer to the A tag and let's give it color, that is font color, and the text decoration as none so that we don't get any underline. Then let's refer to the body, input, and text area, and let's define a font family for them. Then refer to the p tags and we are going to define the font family for them also. And a little letter spacing. And this is the same font for which we have written the link, that is the Google font. And then refer to the h2 tag that we have used to define the heading. And let's define some properties like letter spacing, font size, font weight. And we have used a class bg-black. So let's refer to that to change the background color to dark gray. Alright. And we have used text-gray class. So let's use that class to define the font color to gray. Alright. You can see the classes where we have used them. Then let's refer to the container class and add some padding. Let's say 2 RAM top bottom, 1 RAM left right. And we have used some margin and padding classes, so I'm just going to define those classes now. And you can see where we have used these classes in the HTML. All right. Now let's define the flex classes. So d-flex-c. In this class, we are going to change the display to flex, flex direction to column, and flex wrap. Similarly, d-flex-r. And in this one, we are going to have the flex direction row. All right. You can see the classes where we have used them. Then justify-content-center to center align the elements. Then justify-content-space-around. All right. Then let's define the text class, that is text-white. All right. And text-bold. As well as text-center and font-access. All right. Then let's define the one underscore half class to make the width to 45%, width to 45%, so that some of the width is available for the padding and the margin as well. And you can see where we have used this one underscore half class. All right. And the one underscore half class that we have used in the footer tags, we can also add some margin to them. Alright. Then the one underscore half class that is inside the address, or which is inside the address tag, we can define the margin in a different way for it so that we can have less margin here. Alright. Let's define the submit button now. We have used the btn class there. So let's define it. Display inline block so that it can appear with the other blocks or the other elements in a single line. Then some padding and transform the text to uppercase characters. And let's add a border. And a transition effect. And also let's change the font color and give it a background color as well. Alright. Now we can change the hovering effect. And when we hover the button, we want the background color to turn transparent. And the border color to become white. Alright. Then let's refer to the I tags which were used to define the font awesome icons. Alright, I think in the right half of the address, I have not defined the UL tag before the LI tags. A UL tag needs to be there before defining the LI tags. So let me just quickly define the UL tag and then enclose all of these I tags within the UL tag. This is the right half in the part where we have defined the email as well as the numbers. Alright. Then let's refer to the I tags which are inside the copyright class and add some margin here. Alright. And let's refer to the I tags inside the footer which are used either with FAB or with FAS. And let's define a font size for them. And add a transition effect. And when they are hover, we want them to become white. Alright. Now referring to the I tags which are used with the FAS class, we are going to make the border white and circular. So let's do that. Border radius is going to change, or is going to make the border circular if we give it 50%. Then let's define the border. And add some margin on the top and the bottom. And padding as well. Then let me define the colors for the different social icons. You can keep pausing and write the font colors. Alright, then the only thing left is the media query, so that we can take care of the footer in small screens. So I'm going to give the breakpoint of 992 pixel. You can have more. And let's refer to the 1_half class. And let's make the width 100%, so that when the width of the screen falls below 992 pixel, the elements get 100% width available to them instead of 50%. And with that, we have completed this video as well. If you like the video, you know what to do. You have to hit like button and subscribe to the channel, and maybe leave some comment below so that I know that you guys are liking my videos. And also let me know if there's anything that you want me to make videos on. So that's all for now. See you guys in the next video. Take care till then. Thanks for watching.